Well, after the Supreme Court came down hard on Texas saying, well, you know, by federal law, you can't stop the illegals from coming in.
Now you're an asshole.
They did a 180.
What?
And said, well, you know what, Texas?
Come on. Do it. Do it!
You continue to do what you do.
Yeah!
Can you hear that?
Fuck!
It's all the crying. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this. It's What's Next. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Jazz Berganzo. Another episode of What's Next for you. Common sense, facts, and salt. Of course, it's Wednesday. Illegals. We have seen, and I've done a number of videos in regarding to illegals. You're looking at 8.5 million that have flooded the border in the last 3.5 years under the incredible leadership of Dementia Joe. Basically, Joe has said, and his administration has said, I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. How many people come in? Because that is their objective. That is their agenda. Get the illegals in here. That make them, allow them to suck off the teat of the states. And they'll vote for you. That's the end goal. That's the end goal. To flood the country. To literally wreck the country. And this is what we have. Before dementia came in, we were looking at roughly around 40 to 50 million illegals in the United States, probably since the amnesty bill of 86 that Reagan signed. About 40, 50, which is about a solid. Now, you look at almost 10 million, 8.5, in 3.5 years. The most in the history of this nation. But, according to Dementia Joe, it's all about, they're just trying to live the American dream. They're trying to get away from the poverty and devastating political aspects of their own countries. Having guns held to their heads when none of it's even come close to the truth. They know that under Joe Dementia, nothing will happen. They'll get picked up, dropped off, or picked up and delivered to a state near you. Texas. Texas has stepped in and said, you know what? We're going to try to fight the good fight. We're going to try to do everything possible. From increasing our boots on the ground to actually putting up barbed wire fences to keep the illegals out. Now, of course, they'll always find it. Just like cockroaches, they'll find a way in, or rats, shall we say. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying a considerable amount are here to do bad things to good people. Lake and Riley, anyone. But Supreme Court recently came down hard on Texas and says, well, you know what? Yeah, you can't stop the illegals from coming in because it's against federal law.
3 days later.
They did a 180. They flipped the script and said, well, yeah, you know what, Texas, you continue to do what you do. And of course, now Joe Dementia's crying once again. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Supreme Court lifts stay on Texas law that gives police powers to arrest illegals at the border. Not that many people coming in. Come on, it's only a few. A divided Supreme Court has lifted a stay on Texas law that gives police broad powers to arrest illegals suspected of crossing the border illegally while the legal battle over immigration authority plays out. Supreme Court lifted stays on Texas law that gives police broad powers to arrest illegals at the border, according to Associated Press. A divided Supreme Court on Tuesday lifted a stay of the Texas law that gives the police powers to arrest illegal immigrants suspected of crossing the border while the legal battle continues. The Biden administration is suing to strike down the measure, arguing that it's a clear violation of federal authority that would hurt international relations and create chaos in immigration law. A judge could then order them to leave the U.S. Texas has argued that it has a right to take action over what Governor Greg Abbott has described to as a quote-unquote invasion of illegals at the border. By federal law, the administration should be doing their jobs. That is your job. By federal law, to keep illegals out of the country. That is your job. And it's not under Joe Dementia, Trump, Obama, name every president going all the way back to Reagan. That is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep illegals out. Because guess what? That's the term illegal. Illegal entry. We've heard this before. If an American goes into Mexico with no papers and Mexican officer says, well, show me your papers. You don't got them? guess what? Your ass is in a Mexican jail. Your ass is in a Mexican jail if you don't even have a passport. They don't give a fuck. They don't. But over here, no. Welcome to America. Come on in. And wreck the country. That is why we have 8.5 million illegals that flooded the border or who have crossed border patrol, who've been bussed in, flown in, you name it. This is ridiculous. This is assholery under Dementia Joe. Texas trying to do its damnedest to fend off, because we sure as hell know that under Arizona, under their wonderful Democratic governor, shit ain't getting done there. It's not getting done in New Mexico. Hell, freaking in Louisiana's not even stopping it. But Texas is the entry point. They're trying to do everything in their power to try to stifle this off. And every time they do something, here comes the judge. Strike it down. Strike it down. Strike it down. Oh, you can't put barbed wire fences. You might hurt them from breaking into our country. So the Supreme Court came down hard on them, said, no, that's against federal law. You can't stop the illegals from coming in. Your broadening of police powers is a little too vague. So, yeah, you might want to hold off on that. And then they do a 180, flip around and say, hey, well, you know what, Texas, you continue to do what you do. Do what you have to do. So when you have citizens, Texas citizens, and you see illegals crossing over into their property in the wee hours of the morning, sometimes taking their animals, sometimes killing their animals, sometimes breaking into their houses. And then when they step up and say, you know what, I'm going to exercise my Second Amendment rights, defend my property, and whatever happens. Oh, no. You're the bad guy, Mr. Texas citizen. You're the bad guy. Because you should have just allowed the illegals to break into your house and take your shit. Let them walk all over your property, take your animals, farm. Who cares? You can't stop it because they have a right to be here. How dare you prevent them from achieving the American dream? This is the assholery that we have in this country right now. This is what happens. And then when you have citizens in other states, ask New York how wonderful illegals have been. A sanctuary state. Ask them how wonderful it's been having illegals. You got the governor. You got the mayor coming out and says, well, this could be, they are going to wreck New York. But he's the bad guy. He's calling out the truth. He's the bad guy. California, there's another state that really doesn't give a fuck. The more they allow in, the more votes they see. Again, like I said in the beginning, that's their agenda. So I'm glad that Scotus, did a 180 and will allow Texas to do what it's been doing. Hopefully, Texas goes a little bit more broader. I'm not saying firearms or anything like that, but come up with more inventive ways. I don't know. Yes, you came up with barbed wire fences. How about we electrify those? How about we do, like invisible fences, like we do for dogs, so they go a little too far, they get buzzed and, they fall down and, they learn, well, I can't go out that far because I know what's going to happen to me. Oh, how dare you, Jasper? That's cruel. That is cruel punishment. How dare you? These are people just trying to, again, live the American dream. All the while killing U.S. citizens, again, like in Riley anyone. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is what's next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue to spread the word about the show. We appreciate you guys watching. Help it continue to grow. And we'll see you next time. Peace.